welcome to Davis Field for tonight's Hart women's soccer match between the Culver-Stockton College Wildcats and your number 4 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. We ask that all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Champions of Character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. And now, if you would please rise and remove your hats for a prayer to be followed by the playing of our national anthem. Almighty God, you have created us to strive for our best. Grant all athletes, coaches, and fans the strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm. Help us to honor you today in all we do on and off the field, and make us witnesses to your glory. In Christ's name we pray, amen. And now let's meet the starters for tonight's contest. First, for the visiting team on the scoreboard, Culver-Stockton College. Number 2, Morgan Dirks Machado. Number 6, Jackie Barkas. Number 9, Daniela Sanchez. Number 12, Elena Chandler Gutierrez. Number 14, Cadence Payne. Number 16, Maggie Tuxhorn. Number 17, Hallie Jennings. Number 20, McKenna Little. Number 28, Ellie Wehart. Number 34, Kimberly Williams. And in goal, number 0, Mackenzie Frizzle. The Wildcats are led by head coach Tyler Tomlinson, and he's assisted by Javier Magallan, Wendy Arnett, Elizabeth Henshaw, Alyssa Braun, and Cicely Peacock. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your number 4 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. Graduate midfielder number 3, Renee Barrett. Junior midfielder number 6, Kay Yamaguchi. Senior defender number 7, Alicia Zamora. Freshman midfielder number 8, Larissa Zorio. Freshman forward number 10, Paula Castro. Freshman midfielder number 12, Delia Letelier. Freshman defender number 17, Nereda Munoz. Senior midfielder number 19, Celine Witt. Freshman forward in this week's Hart Offensive Player of the Week, number 21, Mariana Barreto. Sophomore forward, number 24, Christine Leak. And in goal, freshman in this week's Hart Defensive Player of the Week, number 1, Candela Blanco. The Eagles are led by head coach Dan Schmidlin. He's assisted by Tyler Watkins and Judith Gonzalez Oliveras. Good luck to both teams.
welcome into Davis Field. Got a few technical difficulties with our scoreboard here, but we'll get up to. This is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications here at Central, bringing you Hart women's soccer action as the Culver-Stockton College Wildcats come to town, and they will take on your number 4 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. And CMU's off and running early. That's a dish over to Christine Leak. Easy pickup for the goalkeeper, though, and it'll be a quick throw in from their goalkeeper. Ball sent in. That was Witt with the cross in, but it's deflected out. That'll be a throw in for Culver-Stockton. Again, still working to get the time up on the scoreboard. Not sure what our technical difficulties are, but it wouldn't be a day wouldn't be complete without a few fires to put out. So no harm, no foul. We'll get it up for you just about 90 seconds into this first half. So Barrick, again, looking for Barreto. Barreto, the reigning Hart Offensive Player of the Week. CMU swept those weekly awards after a solid showing on Saturday against Park University. Eagles came out with a 3-1 victory there in Parkville. Yep. Zamora sends that back to Munoz. Munoz up to Barreto. Just a light rain falling here at Davis Field. That's Barreto. Mariana Barreto. She's got 2 defenders on her looking for support. Little give and go. Look, that's Barreto. Ball cleared by Culver-Stockton. That'll be a throw in for CMU. Just about 4 minutes gone here. Excuse me, a little under 3. 41-45. Again, this is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications here at Central, bringing you the call for tonight. This is the second to last regular season game for the CMU women. They'll host Clark University this Friday at 3 o'clock for Senior Day. So CMU in good standing to win their 5th straight Hart regular season championship. Just need a win in their in scenario. A little bit of trouble here as Culver-Stockton has a little bit of a breakaway. That's Dirks Machado. That ball sent in. Hallie Jennings with the shot. I think that was deflected, though, or just didn't get quite enough on it. So that'll be a simple goal kick. But again, CMU pretty solid all year, but I've had a few defensive miscues in the last few games that have come back to bite them in terms of giving up a few goals. But they've always been well in front of their opposition. But you have to think that you want that cleaned up as you get into postseason play, and especially in the NAIA National Championship. Castro up to Witt. That's Celine Witt. Celine Witt's got about 3 or 4 defenders on her. Chandler Gutierrez tries to Not sure what the issue is with our scoreboard clock, but can't get it to show up on our scoreboard, so apologies for the technical difficulties there, but I'll just be reading. I will read off the clock every now and then. We're just about 7 minutes into this one, 38:11 on the clock, 0-0. Again, this is the second to last regular season game of the year for both sides, actually. Each side will have one more game. CMU will host Clark University this Friday afternoon for Senior Day. It's part of homecoming festivities. Celine Witt over to Leak. That's Christine Leak up to Castro. Again, good defense by Tuxhorn. CMU still with it, though. Castro, again, she was looking for Barreto on the far side. They'll call a foul as Castro goes down. So that'll be a free kick for the Eagles, and I'll have to assume that Zamora will take this free kick again. Zamora, 2021 NAIA All-American. Senior captain of this team. Four-year starter. She sends low liner into Munoz. Munoz sends one into the box. She's got Christine Leak, but good job right at Mackenzie Frizzle, goalkeeper. That ball dribbles out of bounds, so that'll go in favor of CMU. Munoz on the throw-in, looking for Barreto. Ball goes out of play, but again, it'll be a throw-in for CMU. Quick throw-in. Munoz back to Barrick. Munoz to Zamora. Into Leak, Christine Leak. Leak to Castro. Castro back to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi with some space here on the near side. Azario, a little bit of trouble. Azario to Letelier. Letelier to Barrick. Go that way. Azario back to Zamora. Zamora to Blanco. Blanco, Hart Defensive Player of the Week this week. She and her teammate Mariana Barreto swept the weekly awards. Zamora sends the ball deep, looking for Leak. It's Christine Leak. Jackie Barkus giving chase, though, for Culver-Stockton. Ball goes out of play. I'll go in favor of CMU. Again, just about 34 minutes remaining here, 11 minutes into this first half. Again, I don't know why we can't get our scoreboard up. Ball goes out of play. Culver-Stockton will get the throw in. And that's a goal. Mariana Barreto with her 4th goal in the past 2 or 3 days. CMU's got a 1-0 lead here over Culver-Stockton College. So we'll restart action here. CMU 1-0 lead here. Mariana Barreto, her 4th goal in about 3 or 4 days in the Hart Offensive Player of the Week is cruising here as we close out regular season action. She gives CMU a 1-0 lead over Culver-Stockton College. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. CMU likes to score and they like to score quickly, and that's exactly what you've got here. I don't know why you're laughing. I'm just stating a fact. So Barreto, reigning Hart Player of the Week, she had a hat trick against Park University, scored all 3 of Central's goals in a 3-1 win Saturday afternoon in Parkville. That win, CMU enters this matchup tonight 13-1-1, 9-0-0 in conference play. Culver-Stockton, not a bad overall record, 9-4-3, just an even mark in conference play at 3-3-3. As the standings sit right now, Culver's currently in 8th place with 12 points. That's Zario up to Barreto. Great pass from Zario. Mariana Barreto sends a cross in. Good save by Frizzle. I don't know if I'd give that a shot necessarily because I think she was looking for Leak to just have an easy tap in on the back post. But again, the way the standings work for soccer, it looks a little different on the conference website. But the way that they'll determine conference seeding is a point system. So three points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and then obviously no points for a loss. So CMU currently in first place with 27 total points. Right behind them is Missouri Valley College with 24. But CMU really just needs to take care of business. Their last 2 games as Barreto tried to send one in. Good defense by Culver-Stockton. Official says play on. That ball headed. Leak. Frizzle comes out to grab it. No harm, no foul there. So win tonight for CMU and Friday would clinch their 5th consecutive regular season championship. Obviously, if for some reason CMU drops the last 2 and Missouri Valley wins their final 2 games, Valley plays Graceland and then goes to Benedictine, Valley would win the regular season championship. But if CMU wins tonight, they'll clinch at least a share, and then Friday, if they win, take care of business, then it'll be theirs outright, and they'll have that number 1 overall seed. So well on their way here as Barreto put them up 1-0, just 12-13 minutes into this match. Just under 30 minutes here to go in first half action. Eagles are led by head coach Dan Schmidlin. He's in his 16th year leading the women. Coming into this season with a 201, 89, and 21 mark. As coach of the women's program. And one time he coached both men and women, and then split off after the 2013 season and just took care of the women's side. Collision just outside the box. That ball is cleared. It's Letelier. Back to Osorio. Osorio to Zamora. Zamora over to Yamaguchi here on the near side. Yamaguchi with some space. Up to Witt. Witt tried to send a ball in. Deflected. Goes out of play. Be a CMU throw, and that's Yamaguchi here. I know, Lucy, I know how you feel about sharing a conference championship, but got to go through the process. Win your last two, and we don't even have to talk about it, so. Appreciate you tuning in. CMU, or Lucia, 2020 graduate. Ball sent in, headed, leak, far left. I'd give that a shot, Streeter. Lucia, 3-year captain, a 4-year starter for the women from 2016 to 2019. Now doing big things up at Ohio University as an assistant coach. So shout out to her for watching. And I've got some tidbits of information that she'll feed me every now and then, which is always good. Just some different things about the program. So shout out to her as she's tuning in. Some interesting tidbits as we go along here. We posted about it a week or so ago. CMU's undefeated in 60 consecutive matches when they're playing at home at Davis Field. Their last home loss, October of 2018. So that doesn't include opening round when we go over to Columbia or Battle High School. It doesn't include whatever neutral site games were considered the home team. When they're at home at Davis Field, they haven't basically undefeated in 60 consecutive games. So, if any of you NAI folks are listening, very well could be an NAI record. Although, had some people say that William Carey's up there as well. Of course, William Carey always a staple in the national tournament and always makes noise. Ball sent in. And you might say, well, Rachel, you know, what else can we talk about in terms of some tidbits? And I'm going to assume that we've got a corner kick. Again, I can't tell because I've got a wall that I get to stare right at. But I'm going to assume that's a corner kick. It is. Looks like it's going to be number 16, Maggie Tuxhorn. This will be the Wildcats first. It's a corner. Ball sent in. Still in play. And either goes out of bounds or it's a foul because we'll go the other way. So again, after this, the CMU men's program will take on Culver-Stockton as that ball is sent up to Barreto. Mariana Barreto sends one in. Again, Leak right there hovering in the middle. There's Celine Witt. Witt over to Castro, over everyone's head though. So that'll be a shot just high. So again, you can see where they're wanting to go. Mariana dribbles down the sideline, and I like that little give and go over to Leak, and that space is wide open for CMU. Leak just having a little bit of trouble, hasn't been able to capitalize on any of those opportunities yet. She had a couple of them on Saturday. Probably should have found the back of the net. So just has to work on that finishing touch. We're 23-25 left here in the first half. Again, I don't know what's going on with our scoreboard. I've tried every which way to figure it out, but we can't get the clock up. So we'll try again at halftime to see if we can get up for you guys. But in the meantime, I will rattle off the time every time I think about it and make sure you guys have that. But CMU 1-0 lead here, Davis Field. Letelier over to Munoz. Munoz. Letelier to Yamaguchi here on the near side. Cade Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi looking for Barreto. Good defense. That's headed by Tuxhorn. And they'll call Castro for the foul, so number 10. Pauly Castro, that'll be a foul on Dirks Machado. Again, CMU oftentimes will maintain heavy possession throughout a game, and then every now and then a little bit of a defensive miscue. And those teams will come back and make them pay, but a lot of the time CMU is also up big in those games, so you wonder if it's just a little bit of too much relaxation as Witt sends this one up to Leak. Good job by Barkas to send that back to Frizzle. Frizzle, a little bit of a dangerous pass there as Barreto was lurking. Again, CMU high press. Letelier comes away with it. Letelier to Leak. Leak tries a nutmeg. She's got about 4 or 5 defenders around her. Yes. For the fans at home that don't know what a nutmeg is, mainly for the gentleman sitting to my left, Mr. Tim Crowley, a nutmeg. Lucy, you can correct me if I'm wrong as well. If this is not right, feel free to shoot me a text. But when the forward tries to kick a ball between the defender's legs and have it come out the other side and you still maintain possession. What is that? So for you hockey fans out there, apparently that's a 5-hole? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Oh, okay. I know nothing about hockey, but I do know about nutmegs, so. So it's always one of my favorite moves, and I always like to see the Olympicos in soccer when you score on a corner kick. And no, it doesn't touch anyone else, it just curves into the back post. That's always a favorite of mine. I don't think I've seen one lately, but. Castro over to Barrick. Barrick to Witt. Good job by Chandler Gutierrez to head that one out. So we'll get our first substitution of the afternoon. If I can figure myself out here. That's going to be number 41, Desiree Henzik. She replaces number 20, McKenna Little. Claire, is there a pen over there? Is there an extra pen over there? Munoz. Looking for Castro. Back to Munoz, and Castro goes down. We'll have to get a stoppage in play. We will. So she goes down. That's Paula Castro. Not sure what happened there. And they're going to wave the trainers out. So Sam Tresky, our athletic trainer, and Dan Schmidlin comes out. Take a quick look. So she's up quickly. We'll see. So 19:36 left on the clock. CMU a 1-0 lead here in half number 1. So we'll take a quick break as she gets 10-2. You're listening to CMU Eagles Women's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, so as we resume, called off sides. Again, Castro's going to come back on, so obviously because she went down, she has to come off for set amount of time. So I thought Andrea Jimenez was going to come in for her, but it appears not, so we will scratch that from our markings on our sheet here. We'll see who she comes in for. Dangerous pass, that's Leak. Christine Leak over to Castro. Paula Castro with a shot, deflected. Everyone calling for a handball. They say no, play on. That's Azario, Larissa Azario looking for Leak. Christine Leak back to Azario. Azario out wide to Witt. Witt back to Letelier. Again, Letelier sporting the lovely cast on her left hand. Easy to pick out of the crowd. Munoz sends a ball in, looking for Leak. Christine Leak with the header. I don't think she got anything on that, no, because that'll just dribble out of the back of the end zone. Chandler Gutierrez. And we'll get our first substitution for CMU. That's number 15, Andrea Jimenez. She's going to replace, I think that's Azario. Peanut Gallery would agree with me. Thank you. So Jimenez replaces Azario, so it'll be a free kick for Zamora. Zamora sends one in. That is high over. That goes through the uprights. And one of my favorite sayings I always say is if we were playing American football, that's 3 points. But alas, this is European football here. So it'll just be a simple goal kick for Culver-Stockton. We're just about under 17 minutes left as the rain is really starting to come down here. I think that would just be football. Jimenez, turnover by Culver-Stockton. Andrea Jimenez out to Witt. That's Celine Witt. Sends one in. Ball still in play. Jimenez with a shot. Blocked by Frizzle. Castro, that right there. Cleared though. Again, we'll get a stoppage in play as we get another injury, this time to Culver-Stockton. We'll see if we can get a number here. So number 9, Daniela Sanchez, the injured Wildcat. She's back up, though, so it'll just be a drop ball for CMU on Jimenez over to Zamora. Zamora to Munoz on the far side. Looking for Letelier. Again, CMU currently in first place in the Hart regular season standings. A ball sent in, looking for Christine Leak. Christine Leak with a shot. Got it. Onside, and CMU's got a 2-0 lead over here, Culver-Stockton. So we'll take a look on the replay here, see if we can get the assist. So Zamora sends that one up, and just a perfect place ball, and Christine Leak just an easy put back in the back of the net. So So 2-0 lead here for CMU. 16:07 remaining on the clock here in the first half. Lucy, if you're watching, we finally got replays up and going. It only took me a few years to get them going, but we finally got them. So coming on for Culver-Stockton, that's going to be number 8, Michaela Giola. I'm going to say Gioa. She replaces Sanchez as we restart. Again, shout out to my producer, KJ, for running around and pulling up replays. So if everything goes well, you all can give thanks to KJ. If it all goes wrong, you can blame me. I'm okay either way. So again, CMU 2-0 lead here. Just under 16 minutes left in half number 1. Looking to lock up a share of the regular season championship with a win tonight. Of course, we say share because if for some reason CMU were to lose and Missouri Valley were to win out, they would have a share. But again, CMU would get the tiebreaker and would have the number 1 overall seed in the conference tournament, which they have had for the past 4 years. So up comfortably 2-0 here, looking for more. Ball sent out of the back of the end zone, and it looks like Lauren Berger is going to come on for CMU at some point. We'll see who she replaces. So Lauren Berger is going to replace Christine Leak. And as a matter of fact, let's just give you some scores from around the Heart of America Day. Mid-America, a 4-0 victory over Baker. Missouri Valley, who's the one that could give CMU trouble here in the final couple games. They've got a 1-0 lead over Graceland, about 15 minutes into to go in the first half. CMU obviously up 2-0 here. William Penn and Grandview are scoreless, and then Clark and Mount Mercy are going to play later this evening. So those are the scores from around the Heart of America. That's Gill, Keesla Gill. Ball sent in, again, goes over the crossbar. So CMU could be up 6-0 right now if we were playing American football. Alas, European football, so 2-0. Still a good scoreline. Castro, up to Berger. Berger back to Castro. It's Paula Castro. Sends one in. Hits off the crossbar. Cleared though. Again, I couldn't tell you if Frizzle got enough, if she just got a touch on that or if it hit the crossbar, but either way, it bounces in and out. See if we can possibly get a replay. I'm not sure. Might be too late, but again, no worries there. Nana? Okay. Barrick. Up to Gill. Little triangle passing. Jimenez looking for Gill. Frizzle picks that one up. Maya Henriksen for CMU. Looks like she's going to make her debut in this match. See who she comes in for. Heinrichsen, looks like Barretto's going to come off for CMU. So her first half is probably done, but don't worry, we will guarantee you're going to see her in the second half. That's Maya Henriksen. Maya, sophomore midfielder out of IKAS Denmark. Turnover by CMU. Culver-Stockton with a chance to counter. That's Jennings. Back to Hensiek. Hensiek was looking for Chandler Gutierrez. Again, good defense by CMU. They'll get back. Be a throw in for Culver, but not before CMU's got time to reset here. Again, you might be asking why there's 2 large umbrellas on your screen. I'll just tell you, because it's raining and it's raining hard, so gotta do what you gotta do. So Culver-Stockton still with possession. Ball's headed back. Barrick and Weehart giving chase. Zamora. Dangerous pass right in the middle, and that's going to be a turnover, and that's going to be Hensiek cleared out, though, by Barrick. Weehart comes the other way. Kill. Back to Castro. Castro over to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi back to Zamora. Zamora to Barrick. Renee Barrick up to Castro here on the near side. Jimenez. Quick pass to Jimenez. Jimenez to Heinrichsen. Ball turned over. It's in favor of Gioa now for Culver-Stockton. Munoz up to Berger. Berger with some space on the far side. Elects to send it back to Munoz, and you have to imagine they'll swing this one around to the near side, and as I say that, they do the exact opposite. So ball sent up. That's Lauren Berger. Tries to chase it down. Too far out in front, though, for Berger. Will get another substitution. This will be number 10, Abby Coleman. See who she replaces. Looks like that's going to be number 14, Caden Pence. So just under 10 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Goals by Barreto and Christine Leak in the first half. That's how we've got our score line currently. Again, CMU, as they've been much of the season, tops in the conference. That's Berger with it. Trickles out. We'll see what Munoz decides to do with that. I think she'll just let that go out of the back of the end zone. We'll get 2 more substitutions for CMU. It'll be number 22, Jessica Meda, and number 5, Emma Doyle. They will replace Letelier, number 12, and Castro, number 10. And then coming off for Culver-Stockton is number 2, Dirks Machado. Coming on for Culver's number 29, Samira Timmons. Again, Culver-Stockton 9-4-3, 3-3-3 in heart play. They're currently in 8th place with 12 points, though. Right on the cusp of making postseason play. Their last game of the year will be at home against Grandview on Saturday. So that'll really be the ultimate test. Wildcats led by head coach Tyler Tomlinson in his 13th year at head coach. He's actually the all-time winningest coach in program history. 103, 83, and 17 record entering 2023. Culver-Stockton on a little bit of a roll. They've got back-to-back wins over Graceland and William Penn. But a tall task for the Wildcats as they've got to face a team that wins often and wins often on their home turf, and that is CMU, who's currently ranked number 4 in the country. Again, CMU just been a staple in the heart of America the past 4 to 5 years, and prior to that, it was Benedictine College that had a stranglehold on this conference. Of course, Benedictine's still up there, just usually hovering about 2 or 3, right behind Missouri Valley. That's Barrick. Meda, Jessica Meda. She's got some space to work with. Sends it to Heinrichsen here in the middle. Back to Meda. Again, just under 6.5 minutes remaining here. First half. CMU 2-0 lead over Culver-Stockton. Ball fired in. That's a shot for Letelier high over the crossbar. We'll get one more substitution for Culver-Stockton. This will be number 4, Ava Maralik, Crystal, Minnesota. She's a freshman defender. She's going to replace number 12, Elena Chandler-Gutierrez. So 5 substitutions for Culver, 3 for CMU here as we close in. Just under 6 minutes left here. Again, after this, you'll have the CMU men taking on Culver-Stockton College. That'll be a big-time matchup for the CMU men as they're looking to solidify a spot in the conference tournament. Again, a tough 3-0 loss to Park, which doesn't do them any favors as the regular season winds down. They'll have one more game against Clark University, and those two are actually, I think they're tied for 8th. I'll have to double check, but tied for 8th of the conference right now. So obviously you go off the point system for seeding, and then after that, if it's still tied, it's head-to-head. So that one could very well decide who makes the conference tournament, but they've got to take care of business tonight against a Culver-Stockton men's team that hasn't won a conference game yet. Gill up to Doyle. Doyle, that ball goes out. It'll go in favor of Culver-Stockton. We'll get one more substitution for the Wildcats. That's going to be number 19, McKaylin Day. She replaces number 17, Hallie Jennings. So as we get closer to halftime here, we'll give you some quick stats for this match, and then we'll take a break here, make sure that our cameras are dry. Make sure that we've got a picture on the screen for you. That's Barrick back to Gill. Gill, quick pass to Doyle. Doyle over to Gill here on the far sideline. Kiesla Gill. Doing battle with number 4, Ava Marcelik. Heinrichsen to Doyle. Heinrichsen with some space. Trying to find Jimenez there on the inside, deflected out, and I think that'll go in favor of, actually, that'll be a corner kick. See if our camera person can get a little more panned over to the left. That'll be Jimenez. I think this might just be a deep throw, and we'll have to see here. Nope, that'll be a corner. There we go. So Jimenez on the corner. She'll have Heinrichsen over there as well, so we'll see if there's a short kick. The ball sent in over everyone's head, headed. Maida was right there. Zamora wearing the captain's armband, trying to track it down, goes out of play. It's deflected. It'll be a corner kick. We'll just go from the other side this time. That ball finds the back of the net. CMU's up 3-0. So we'll take a look, see if we can get the goal here on the replay. So that ball's sent in. That's Maida on the corner kick. So, correction, no goal. Foul on CMU because of shove on Frizzle. So, wipe that one off the board. Even if we could tell you who scored, I honestly couldn't because it was just a mad rush at the box. But no harm, no foul. CMU still a 2-0 lead here. Gill up to Barrick. Barrick to Zamora. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Heinrichsen. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a throw in for CMU. Munoz. That's a shove on Culver-Stockton, so a free kick for CMU. We're just about under 90 seconds left here in first half action. Again, we'll have the CMU men on at about 7:30, so make sure you stick around for that. We'll have a whole new broadcast for you. Zamora sends this one just on the edge of the box. 1 minute remaining. CMU trying to find an offensive push here in the last 60 seconds. Again, as we wrap things up, we'll give you some quick stats, and then we'll head to halftime, and we'll see if we can figure out why we can't get a clock on the scoreboard. That'll be our halftime action. See if we can make some tweaks here. Frizzle sends that one deep. Yamaguchi heads it. It's Berger with it. Berger to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi. Back to Munoz. Munoz to Zamora. Alicia Zamora with some space in the middle. Zamora was looking for Gill. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's going to do it for first half action here. CMU a 2-0 lead over Culver-Stockton College. We'll bring you guys some quick stats here as soon as I get myself situated. So don't go away. You're listening to CMU Eagles Women's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, so welcome back to Davis Field. CMU a 2-0 lead over Culver-Stockton College. We'll give you some quick stats here. CMU really just owning possession. 14 total shots, 5 of those coming on frame. A pair of corners, only 1 offsides, 7 fouls combined between both sides. Just 1 shot, no shots on goal yet for Culver-Stockton. 3 saves and a corner. No cards yet, but it's soccer, and I'm sure there'll be some feistiness as we get into the second half, so stick around for that. That'll be a fun time. Barreto, 3 shots, 2 shots on goal. Of course, the first goal of the game. And Christine Leak, Alicia Zamora, and Paula Castro, and Nerea Munoz all with a pair of shots. Christine Leak with the second goal of the game. Zamora also with an assist. I thought she might have her first goal of the year, but alas, nothing yet for the senior defender from Valladolid, Spain. We'll see what she can do here. Again, I always give her grief. She's the queen of penalty kicks. Did not score any goals as a junior, and then just came out and just rattled off, I think, 4 or 5 straight games with a penalty. So she's doing well in her final season as an Eagle. Paula Castro also with that assist on the Barreto goal in the first half. So we're going to see if we can figure out a few things. Have some technical difficulties to work out. But CMU a 2-0 lead here over Culver-Stockton College. About 13 minutes left in halftime, so we'll bring you second half action shortly. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're listening to CMU Eagles Women's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, welcome back to Davis Field for second half action. CMU with a 2-0 lead over Culver-Stockton College. Shout out to Crystal Williams in IT for just now getting on. Took her about 45 minutes to figure it out, but we'll just chalk that up to her ripe old age. Got a good chuckle in the press box. All love and fun. All fun and games over here. Sometimes. So CMU 2-0 lead. They're going to left to right on your screen. Again, I had to send her the link for it. Couldn't figure it out, so. You think IT folks would know, but maybe not. I don't know. Zamora just skies that one, and she's looking for Christine Leak. We'll see if Frizzle can come out and grab it. She does. Again, that might have found the back of the net if it had just been a little bit lower, but she really just skied that one. And Zamora. Again, looking for Leak. Christine Leak turns the corner. Frizzle snags that one up, so no harm, no foul for Culver-Stockton. As I want to say the rain has let up slightly, but I don't think it has. The weatherman and the one and only Tim Crowley says it has, so I will correct my stance. Said he's walked through it, so he knows these things, so. A little bit of a lighter drizzle as we get into second half action. Again, I don't know why we can't figure out this clock on our scoreboard, so apologies for that, guys. So I will give you updates on the time every now and then. That's Barrick, Renee Barrick, doing battle. They'll call, I believe, number 20, McKenna Little, for a foul, so that'll be a free kick, a dangerous spot for Culver, but a good spot if you're a CMU fan. I think this will be Castro on the free kick from about the 11. 41-23 on the clock. We'll see if CMU can complete the trifecta, get their third goal of the evening. They like to score, and they like to score quickly. That ball just drilled right at the wall, though. It goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in. You good over there? Okay. Yep. Quick throw in. That's Barreto, Mariana Barreto. Ball flicked on. Good job by Frizzle. Again, Christine Leak. Right spot, right time. Right spot, right time for Leak. Just always has a defender right in front of her, it seems, but she's due for a goal here. We'll see if she can get one. Again, CMU leads 2-0 here, and again, the CMU men will be on at about 7:30, or just 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one, either way. Again, I'm never opposed to getting matches going. So, Azorio back to Letelier. Letelier to Zamora. Zamora to Munoz. Munoz back to Castro. Castro with some space, sends one into Azorio. Azorio back to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi up to I think that's Barrick. Honestly, I can't tell you. I think that's Witt, actually. Ball sent in. Nothing yet. Turned over in the way of Culver-Stockton. And good defense by Barrick and CMU. Again, Barrick, a graduate transfer out of Mid-America Nazarene University, so she's got her final season of eligibility. Played for the Pioneers and was actually here last year. As Zamora finds Barreto. Mariana Barreto sends one into the box. Goes across. That's going to be Castro. Shot deflected. Castro again with the shot. Goes over the upright. So a couple chances for Paula Castro. Again, CMU looking to clinch a share of their 5th regular season championship with a win tonight. Again, I know many of the soccer people, especially some alumni that I know, do not like the idea of shared conference championships, but the collision down, and we'll have a stoppage in play almost immediately as collision from both Culver-Stockton players, and they're down, and the official waves over our trainers immediately, so we'll see if they're okay. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to CMU Eagles Women's Soccer here on the Hard Conference Network. So McKenna Little and Cadence Payne, I think they were both going for a header, but in the end they just ended up doinking each other on the head, and they both go down. So they're up quickly, though, which is nice. It's good to see. Coach Tomlinson getting a look at his players, making sure that they're up and okay. Again, that collision, and then they went down almost instantly, and the official quickly waved over the athletic trainers. So we'll see if they need a substitution. I'm not sure. If they do, my fantastic GA Streeter will be ready and waiting. And we'll get a pair of substitutions. So number 8, Michaela Joya, and number 10, Abby Coleman. Both saw action in the first half. They'll come on for Little and Cadence Payne. I'll be curious to see both of those players are on the sideline here looking to maybe potentially come back in. One of them puts on their bib, so we'll have to see what happens there. As we resume action. Ball sent in, high over everyone's head. Go the way of Culver-Stockton for a goal kick. And just like that, both Little and Payne will come back on for Culver-Stockton. So quick substitution, but again, I think as they went down, they had to come off and get looked at. Again, CMU, 14 first half shots have really controlled the pace of play here in this second half. Is just about 37-32 on the clock. 2-0 lead for the Eagles. Looking for more here on the Wildcats. That ball sent over. That's Barreto. Mariana Barreto battling it out in the corner. Barreto. Ball goes out of play. That'll be a throw-in for CMU, and again, I would tell you guys who has the throne, but I've got a 6-inch wall. Actually, it might be thicker than that, don't you think? Bigger than that. I have a lovely wall in front of me that I can't see, but you guys can see it on your screen, which is the main thing that matters. It'll be a throw-in for CMU. Again, not sure what happened there, but we've got a throw-in going the other way. So, again, CMU men, they'll take on Culver-Stockton in a big-time matchup in terms of conference seeding. At about 7:30, there's Leak, Christine Leak. Ball sent in, deflected. I think that was Barrick with the shot. It was. So Barrick with the shot, deflected though. CMU keeps it in play. It'll go out in favor of Culver-Stockton now. So again, CMU men's soccer, they'll play here just about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. And then we've also got CMU volleyball for you. However, that is not in Puckett Fieldhouse this evening. It'll be across the way over in Olathe, Kansas, as they take on the Mid-American Nazarene Pioneers. That's going to be a big-time matchup in terms of conference seeding. CMU, I think, still sitting in second place, potentially third. They've lost to Park a couple times, and then Benedictine as well at home. Otherwise, they've played pretty well in conference play, so they've got two big matchups. They've got MNU tonight at 7 o'clock, and then I think they go on the road to play Benedictine Friday night at 7. So, again, if they want to solidify a top, at least a 2 seed in the conference tournament, they'll need to win both of those, or they'll need some help. But Benedictine kind of a surprise team this year, at least in my opinion, from a volleyball standpoint, and really had CMU out of sorts in that first game. So, but again, Mid-American Nazarene, they're the defending conference regular season and tournament championships. Haven't played up to their potential this year, despite only losing one starter, but they're cranking it on at the right time of the year. So, again, we'll see what happens there. But again, that match will be live on the Hart Conference Network at 7 p.m. You can catch all that on cmueagles.com. Leak over to Osario. Again, Chad Jenkins, MNU's SID, always does a great job with his streaming, so I'm sure you're going to get about 50 different angles and all sorts of replays, so well done there. That's Barrick. Barrick with a shot. Barrick with another shot. It goes over. Too high. Again, looked like she was going to take an initial shot and then juked out her defender. I would call that a pump fake if we were playing American football, but I don't know what you call that. In basketball? Quarterbacks do pump fakes. Yeah. Ball turned over. Letelier to Barrick. Barrick on the near side here. Barrick with some space. Sends it back to Munoz. Munoz to Zamora. Zamora all the way over to Yamaguchi. Zamora with some space, sends it up to Munoz here on the near side. That's Munoz. Loretta Munoz to Witt. Witt trying to make something happen. That ball goes out of play. That'll be a throw-in for Culver-Stockton. So foul on CMU, so that'll be a free kick for the Wildcats. Deep in their own territory, they'll send that one high. Again, CMU really controlled the offensive pace of this game. 18 total shots, 5 of those coming on goal, compared to just one shot, no shots on goal yet for the Wildcats as we hit 32-41 here in second half action. Again, couldn't tell you why we can't get our clock on our scoreboard to cooperate, so apologies for that, but I'll keep peppering that throughout the broadcast. Munoz. A little bit of trouble there for CMU. Good job by Zamora to stymie that, and it's ultimately cleared by Yamaguchi, and Witt comes away with it on the near side. Again, CMU was stingy defense the past 4 or 5 years. I think they've had the conference defensive player of the year. At least since I've been here the past 3 years, maybe 4. Lucy, if you're still tuning in, you can double check me, but Laura Heisenbeck, who's now at Division I Drake University, completing her graduate degree. Won it every year since I've been here. And they'll call a foul on Celine Witt. And you hear the collective groan from the crowd. They don't like that, but official says we'll play on. So that'll be a free kick for Tuxhorn. She'll send that wall deep. And headed back by Barrick. Barrick to Witt. Leak. Good job by Leak maintaining possession. Christine Leak looking for Barreto. That ball cleared by Barkus. Again, CMU still with possession, though, as Azorio is going to chase it down there on the near side. Far side. Azorio back to Yamaguchi. Zamora. Looked like she was going to attempt a shot. I know she's looking for one. I always give her grief that she needs to score some goals besides penalty kicks. But a goal is a goal either way. But when you play defense, I think 4 or 5 goals in a season is nothing to be ashamed about. So I know she's got her eyes on some bigger prizes. She closes out her senior campaign. Ball headed by Leak goes out of play through, I think, through the back of the end zone. And it'll be a corner kick for Central. I think this will be Letelier on the corner. I think. Ball sent in. Zamora with the shot. Deflected, whiffed. CMU still with it in play. Barrick tried to slip it to Castro, falls away. Cleared, though, by Culver-Stockton, but not before Yamaguchi, who's defending the back line, sends it right up to Azorio. Azorio back to Zamora. Again, Zamora, although she plays defense, she's played a pivotal role in a lot of the offensive output for CMU. Just under 30 minutes remaining, 29-12 left here in half number 1. CMU. 2 first-half goals by Barreto and Christine Leak. And Barreto, the reigning Hart Offensive Player of the Week, had a hat trick against Park. Scored her 4th goal in about 96 hours for CMU, so she's played well. That's Munoz. Munoz sends one into the box. Punched out by Frizzle. You good over there? Okay. What is it? Oh. Again, a cold and rainy night here at Davis Field. Light rain. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen, but if you can see the crowd, there's some umbrellas and several ponchos. So it is a wet one out here this evening as we close in on the conclusion of conference play here in the regular season. That's Barreto. It's going to be a shot. Deflected. So Barrick with the shot just goes wide, though, and she had a little bit of open space there. We'll see what they call if it's a corner or a deflection. Regardless, we'll have our first substitution of the half. That'll be Andrea Jimenez. She replaces Barrick. Again, it'll be a corner kick for CMU. So Paula Castro is going to send this one in. Offense is set up, ball headed. Everyone calling for a handball, or at least through the back of the end zone. So it'll go through the backside. It'll be a corner kick for CMU. We'll go the other way this time, and I think this will be ball sent in. Punched out again by Frizzle. Zamora right at Frizzle. Second shot. So a flurry of shots from CMU. Zamora got the initial touch on it. So again, up and down the lineup, you can see that CMU gets production from everywhere on the field. Zamora to Munoz, back to Zamora. Zamora over to Yamaguchi on the far side. Yamaguchi with some space. Barreto. Barreto looking for Witt. Witt stays on side. Ball's ultimately cleared, though. That's Jimenez. Jimenez looking for Castro. Castro gets called, and they'll call a foul on Culver-Stockton. That'll be on number 20, McKenna Little. We'll see if they assess a yellow card. We'll get a stoppage and play on the clock. And we will. We'll get our first yellow card of the evening. That'll be number 20, McKenna Little. So a foul just outside of the penalty area will be a free kick for CMU. Castro with the shot. Wide left. And again, Zamora and Castro are debating who that went off of, but official says nada, so we'll go the way of Culver-Stockton for a goal kick. Yes. Throw in for Munoz and the Eagles. Up to Zamora. Zamora sends one in. Again, looking for Leak. Trying to find that soft spot in the middle for Christine Leak. Nothing doing yet. That's Celine Witt. Celine Witt sends one into the box. Goes across the face of goal. Put back goal. CMU leads 3-0. So Mariana Barreto just got confirmation on the goal. Her second goal of the match, a putback goal. Again, great cross in by Witt, deflected a couple of times, and Barreto, right spot, right time. That's her fifth goal in about 96 hours. The CMU's got a 3-0 lead here over Culver-Stockton College. If I can get my goals updated. Again, apologies, guys. We, for whatever reason, cannot figure out our scoreboard clock. So, again, I'll keep chiming in on the time here every now. 23:07 left in the match. CMU comfortably ahead, 3-0. So Barreto, reigning Hart Offensive Player of the Week. Those were announced yesterday, and I got to tell you, she might be on her way for her second one in as many weeks, her third one overall, with the way she's playing tonight. Letelier, nice dish over to Witt. Celine Witt. Witt. Ball stays in the box, cleared by Culver. Again, Witt, her closing speed to get down the line and send those crosses into the box. I always like those are some of my favorite plays. So again, CMU comfortably ahead, looking to go to 14-1-1, 10-0-0 in conference play. Culver, they need goals, and they need them quickly if they want to get back into this one. But CMU comfortably ahead as the rain is really starting to pour down here at Davis Field. Again, the CMU men in a big-time matchup against Culver later this evening. It'll be about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game. Again, CMU probably needs to win out to get a seat in the conference tournament. Again, dropping a match to Park in Parkville hurt their chances, so we'll see. But again, we'll give you that breakdown as we get more into the men's game here later this evening. So rain really starting to come down. CMU comfortably ahead. Zamora sends one to the box again, looking for leak. Cleared, though, by Culver-Stockton. Jimenez over to Witt. Witt looking for Castro in the middle. Good defense by Culver. So the head official says, hey, please move that ball on back. So Maggie Tuxhorn will say, okay. Ball goes out of play. So Jessica Meda replaces Munoz, it looks like. So Munoz, her day is probably more than done. And you got some scores for me? Oh, we'll read some scores for me around the conference as soon as our Wi-Fi cooperates. It's always a hit and a miss. So obviously Mid-America 4-0 win over Baker in Olathe. Missouri Valley a 2-0 lead over Graceland. CMU comfortably ahead of Culver-Stockton here at Davis Field, 3-0. Grandview up 2-0 over William Penn in Des Moines. And then obviously Clark and Mount Mercy have yet to play, so that's one of those. The men will play first, women will play second. That'll be at 7:30. And that's going to be Barreto, Mariana Barreto. Some space down the sideline. Flicked over to Castro. Castro right at Frizzle. Deflected initially, and Celine was potentially right there for the putback. But again, good job by the Culver-Stockton goalkeeper. Letelier to Meda. Just under 19 minutes, 18:45 left on the clock. CMU 3-0 lead. Goals by Barreto, Leak in the first half, and then Barreto just scoring here not too long ago for the Eagles. It's our score line for the evening. CMU looking to improve to 10-0-0 in conference play and clinch at least a share of the Hart regular season championship. Of course, Missouri Valley up comfortably over Graceland, so that'll be at least a share until you make it to Friday. And then if CMU can take care of business against Clark on Senior Day, they'll win it outright. That'll be their 5th straight regular season title, and they'll have the number 1 seed in the conference tournament. So Lauren Berger, number 18, will come on for CMU, and then number 11, McKenna Beanie, come on for Culver-Stockton, and the rain is really starting to come down. Nice rainy evening here in Fayette, Missouri. If you're a Midwesterner, though, you'll hear many people say, we need this rain, which is probably true. But Frizzle sends this one up. Again, looking for a clearance, but CMU comes away with it. That's Barreto. Barreto with some space. Christine Leak over to Castro. Tries to chase it down. Castro sends one into the box. Barreto giving chase, but job by goalkeeper Frizzle just to snag that one. That's Jimenez. Jimenez to Osorio. Osorio back to Zamora. Zamora all the way over to Barreto. Barreto back to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi to Letelier. Quick flick over to Barreto. Little give and go again, looking for Jimenez. Cleared, though, by Culver-Stockton. Zamora. Zamora to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi to Berger. That's Lauren Berger. Quick shot over to Castro. Maintains possession. Leak. That's Christine Leak. She's got some space. Can't get away from her defender, though. Ultimately cleared. Ball goes out. Possibly a foul on the far side. I'm not sure what happened, but it ends up being a so foul on Osorio, so it'll be a quick ball quickly taken by Culver, but again, CMU just high pressure offense, really pushing the attacking third for CMU. As they've done all evening, they'll take possession here on a throw-in. So foul on Culver. So I think this will be Castro or Osorio on the free kick from about the, if you're looking at the football grid marks, I'm going to say about the 5. Almost the same as a corner kick, just a little bit further in. So good scoring opportunity. That'll be Osorio. Sends a high one into the box. They'll call a foul. I'm going to assume that's on Lauren Berger because she was the one that had some disagreeing words perhaps with the official. Again, if anyone would like Tim Crowley to hop on to do color commentary with me, he's over here just mumbling to himself. If you would like to have him come on, feel free to shoot me a message if you have my number. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, checking the lightning. Hopefully you don't jinx it. Huh? 300 miles away? All right, we're in good standing. That's good. Again, Culver-Stockton with a little bit of a chance to counter. Again, CMU, we've not, the past 3 years that I've been here, we have not had good luck with lightning in the area. We either have stoppages in play, we've had to postpone games and play them the next day, and that's just in the fall. I don't even count the spring because that just goes with the territory, but we seem to run into that frequently in the fall season. So, but alas, if the nearest lightning strike is 300 miles away, I like our chances. So, just under 13 minutes remaining. CMU 3-0 lead here. Meta goes down. Nothing called. Stays with it. Again, that's Christine Leak. She's got some support out in front of her. She's got Barreto to her left, Castro to her right, and then Jimenez on the far right. She's got some space. Christine Leak with a shot. Got it. Goal. Christine Leak from about 30 yards out. CMU leads 4-0. So Christine Leak had some, thank you, had some space out in front of her. She had support on either side of her and just elected to take it herself. So it's a 4-0 lead here for the Eagles. We'll have a host of substitutions. Maya Henriksen, she's going to come on for Leak as well, as is Keesla Gill, number 16. She's going to replace Barreto. And then for Culver-Stockton, number 22, Anissa Prieto. She's going to replace number 14, Cadence Payne. So 4 or 5 substitutions here total. And then I think Manuela Polacchini is also going to come in for CMU. We'll see what she comes in for the Eagles here. Just 12:37 left here in seconds. So CMU looks like they're going to cruise to a 4-0 win here. I say that, but then every now and then we'll get a broadcaster's jinx as Heinrichsen gets called for the foul because of the handball. So that'll go the way of Culver-Stockton. They'll get possession of that as the rain continues to fall. Again, we'll have CMU men's soccer action as they take on Culver-Stockton in the nightcap. And honestly, if you're around the rest of this week, we've got several things going on. We've got men's basketball playing Friends University Thursday at 7 o'clock. That is their home opener, and I can't believe we're already playing basketball, but it is here, and they're ready to go. And then Friday, obviously, senior day for men's and women's soccer. They'll play Clark University. And then to wrap up homecoming festivities, we've got the CMU football program taking on rival Missouri Valley College. That'll be Saturday, 1 o'clock kickoff. So if you guys are around, be sure to tune in. We'll have a couple more substitutions. So Polacchini for CMU, and then for Culver-Stockton, number 26, Annalise Morrison, and number 27, Grace Lawman. Azario is going to come off for CMU, and then for Culver-Stockton, Hallie Jennings and Ellie Weehart. So 3 more substitutions here as we wrap up second half action. We've got about 11 minutes, and we'll get, I don't know if we're going to get a card or we're going to get a talking to, but we're going to have some sort of conversation with the officials and players. So no cards given, which is always good. Just a simple chat with our wall. Corner kick sent in. It goes over everyone. And we'll get another stoppage in play as our keeper is down. I'm going to assume that's 10, Streeter. Castro. So Frizzle goes down. How'd it go? That's good. We'll have another substitution. This time it'll be the goalkeeper. So Frizzle's going to come out. And number 45, Riley Loftus, will come in, I believe. We'll see if they'll let her come on. They do. So 45 for 0. Frizzle's just going to elect to walk all the way around the backside of the net. So just a ball drop. Nothing there. Ball skirts across the face of goal. It'll go out of play. We'll get a host of substitutions for CMU. We'll see if I can get them all to you. So number 5, Emma Doyle. Number 20, Carly Edwards. And then number 9, Stine Lee will come on for CMU. In the closing minutes of this match, just about 10 minutes left here. Again, apologies for the lack of a time clock on the scoreboard. Not sure what the issue is, but just under 10 minutes left here. Davis Field hit the 10-minute mark. We'll have 3 substitutions. It'll be Edwards, Doyle, and Lee. And we'll see when they elect to have them come on. We'll get a foul, I believe, on CMU. Either that or a throw-in. I think it'll just be a throw-in. I'll send in under 10 minutes, so. Again, in between matches, feel free, tune into the Hart Conference Network. You can catch CMU women's volleyball, number 19 in the country. They'll take on Mid-America Nazarene in Olathe. So coming off for CMU here on the women's soccer match is going to be number 12, Delia Letelier, number 7, Alicia Zamora, and number 6, Katie Yamaguchi. So those 3 will come off. We'll have another substitution. It'll be Danny Machado, number 23. We'll see when they elect to have her come on. So solid night for the starting 11 for CMU. Gives opportunity for some younger players to come in and see some action here. Also some additional opportunities to rest. We'll get a foul on Culver-Stockton. Classic jersey tug, which is a no-no. That's Meta. Meta to Castro. Castro's got to chase this one down. Berger keeps it in play for CMU. Goes out of play. There'll be a throw-in for CMU. That substitution will come on now. So Machado's going to come on, and she's going to replace Castro. So good night for Paula Castro. Throw in by Meta. It's Policini. And good hard tackle by Meta, but they'll call a foul on Meta. So 22. 22 with the foul. Free kick is sent in. I don't know if they called it, but good save by Blanco. But I swore everyone was offsides. He had 2 or 3 folks behind the line before that ball was even kicked, but maybe not. Right. 7 minutes left. CMU 4-0 lead. Goals by Barreto and Leak. CMU looking to keep the clean sheet. Ball sent in right at Blanco, though. That was number 27, Grace Lahman. And again, I think we'll get another substitution for CMU. It's going to be Max de Armas Colombo. She'll come in as the goalkeeper. So Max de Armas Colombo is going to come on here shortly. Max been battling some back issues for a number of games. Going to come in and see some action here in the final few moments. So de Armas Colombo is going to replace Blanco, and then Number 19, McKaylin Day. She's going to replace number 16, Maggie Tuxhorn for Culver-Stockton. Maeda on the throw-in. Lee looking for Doyle. That's Jimenez. Turned over. Culver comes away with it. Say Heinrichsen will just elect to send that back to Colombo. Colombo will send that one up to Gill. Ball trickles out of play. Maeda goes down. She's going to remain down. Just under 4 minutes left here. Jimenez. Lee. She gets back up. So Lee, again looking for Gill. That's Keesla Gill. Keesla Gill with some space. Shot. Just wide of the mark. A goal kick for Culver-Stockton, and that'll just add to the shot total for CMU, and they have absolutely just cruised in this game. Again, we'll get you some final stats as we wrap up here. Just a little over 3 minutes left, and 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, we'll have the CMU men in a big-time matchup against Culver-Stockton. More so for, well, firstly, making sure that you can get into the conference tournament, and then seeing what kind of seed you can get. But last two games for the men will be crucial here as we wrap up. Easy scoop up for the keeper. Again, CMU 26 total shots compared to just 3 for Culver-Stockton. 10 of those coming on frame for CMU. Just one yellow card that was issued to Culver-Stockton in the second half, I believe. A little over 90 seconds left. CMU closing in on their share of their 5th conference championship in the regular season. Ball sent in. Backside of the net, although that did look like it was the front side. Gill. Just about 1 minute left here. CMU, I believe, is going to get a corner kick on this deflection.
1 minute remaining in the match.
Tim proved me right. There is indeed 1 minute left. Corner kick sent in, high. Ball headed. Goes out of the back. I think that was Emma Doyle. So just under 10 seconds left here as the 10-second countdown is on.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And with that, that's a 4-0 victory for CMU. The Eagles close in and solidify at least a share of their 5th consecutive Hart regular season championship. They'll have an opportunity to clinch the championship outright this Friday. It's senior day for the Eagles. So we'll get you some quick stats here as we wrap up this match. So again, CMU finishes with, I don't know if I can figure out my statistics here. CMU finishes the match with 28 total shots, 10 of those shots coming on goal, compared to just 3 shots, 2 shots on goal for Culver-Stockton. A pair of saves for CMU, 6 saves for Culver as they had to thwart a lot more offensive attacks. 18 fouls combined, 12 for CMU, just 6 for Culver-Stockton. Only 1 yellow card issued in the match, so pretty even night in terms of offsides. None of that, only 1 of those was called. And again, Paula Castro, she finishes with 7 shots, 2 shots on goal, 1 assist to lead the way. Mariana Barreto, Christine Leak, both with 4 shots, 3 shots on goal, and a brace for both of those starters. Keesla Gill, she finishes with 2 shots, as does Munoz. Alicia Zamora with 3, Renee Barrick with 2. So with that, CMU, again, clinches at least a share of their 5th consecutive regular season conference championship dating back to 2019. They pushed their undefeated streak at home at Davis Field to 61 consecutive matches dating back to October of 2018. The last conference game that the Eagles lost, October 10th of 2020. So in that time frame, they've been, now I think this is 43-0-1 during that time span. So an incredible run for the number 4 team in the country. And again, cruise into the regular season as we get into postseason action here. We'll give you some scores around the Heart of America. It's a final from, I believe this is in Lamoni, Missouri Valley, a 2-0 win over Graceland University. So they'll have to wait to secure that conference championship outright, but with a win on Saturday, that'll surely be in hands. They'll at least get the number 1 seed because they won the head-to-head between both Valley and CMU just a couple weeks back. And Grandview knocks off William Penn, and Clark hasn't played Mount Mercy yet. That's going to be the 7:30 match. So that'll do it here. With that, CMU improves to 14-1-1, a perfect 10-0-0 in conference play. Culver-Stockton drops to 9-5-3, 3-4-3 in the Heart. Their last game of the year is against Grandview, so they're on the outside looking in. Still with 12 points, they'll have to work their way back in if they want to get into the conference tournament. And if they just so happen to do that, they'll most likely get a date with, you guessed it, CMU in the Hart quarterfinals, which will come in that first week of November. So that's going to do it here from Davis Field. That is a final. CMU a 4-0 win over Culver-Stockton College. We've got the men coming up in about 28 minutes, so don't go away. You're listening to CMU Eagles Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network.